The 2024s are starting to make their way into the dealerships, and I got lucky, guys. I have this Lariat with the brand new color, and it has the black appearance, so I think it looks pretty amazing. Special shout out to Larry H. Miller, Super Ford here in Salt Lake City. If you are in the market, this truck might be sold. I did not get a confirmation on that, but you might want to call in and just make sure you can get on a list, because this is a pretty special build. Let's go ahead and take a look at the window sticker, and then I'll show you guys around the truck. So here are all the specs on this build. That color is called Darkened Bronze, and it has the Baja Interior. I've done a lot of videos on the Lariat, and I've never seen this interior color yet. Here's some of the options on this build. Base price is right there at $65,790, and total price is $87,935. If that black appearance is too much money, you do have a sport appearance package, and I want to say it's like half of the price of this one. And some people don't really care for the wheels on the black appearance, although I think they look kind of cool. Now up front, you can see you have a blackout on the grille, on the badge, and they do give you painted bumpers. There are no parking sensors on the front end, and that's because this truck does not have the ultimate package, which is probably a good thing, because that's another $4,000+ you have to add, which puts the truck over 90 grand for a Lariat. But reflective style LED headlights and projector style fog lights down below here, and recovery hooks are finished in black. And then off to the side, hopefully you guys can see this color. This is a really unique color for sure. I've never seen anything like this on a Super Duty, or at least I don't remember it. And here's a better look at the wheels. They are wrapped in a Bridgestone Dueler tire, LT 275/6520. And then here are the capacities right here. 3,750 pounds at 80 PSI. Solid front axle. You can see the suspension a little bit better here. And then here's just one more look at those wheels. And off to the side, you guys can see the mirror caps are finished in black. And this trim piece typically is finished in black, even if you don't get the black appearance. High output power stroke badge. You have your fixed running boards, painted door handles. This is a really nice spec, and you can really see that color a little bit better right here. It looks black. Like if I look inside the camera, it looks like it's a black, but there's a lot of metallic flake in the paint as well, and it's like a deep bronze color. This truck does have the 360 camera. Blind spot monitoring is right there. You have your keypad. Now this bed is basically 6 foot 8 inches. You have a 34-gallon diesel tank and a 7.4 gallon DEF. They did provide these steps for 2023 on the side of the bed. I think they come in handy. And this is the suspension you're going to get with the F350 1-tons. You get that one overload leaf spring, 4 leaves from the main pack right there. FX4 badge is kind of darkened too. Normally you see reds in that if it's not the black appearance. And painted rear bumpers with parking sensors. Class 5 receiving hitch. You have a 4 and a 7 pin, and darkened Ford badge. They do provide a light that shines below for your conventional hitch. Backup cameras right there. And this is most likely going to have a assisted tailgate, and it does. Spray and bed liner, 5th wheel prep package. And this might be, yeah, this is a 12 pin for camera view. And here are the lights for the bed. You cannot put this tailgate up with power. You have to move it to a higher trim level for that. Now this truck was optioned with the 355 rear, and that's gonna have a locker on it. And the spare tire, that looks like a, no, that looks like a Steely. It looks like a Steely. But yeah, here's that color in the shade. Let me know what you guys think. It looks black for sure. So far this year, I didn't see a lot of people ordering Super Duties with the high output Power Stroke. I was actually shocked. Now, if you get a trimmer it does come standard with the 7.3, but you cannot get the standard output power stroke. You have to get the high output. But if you want a performance diesel, this is the way to get it. This has 500 horsepower, 1200 pound-feet of torque. The cooling on the combustion is pretty much top notch. You can see some of the lines running on the engine. It has a water jacketed turbo, and it has a 10-speed transmission known as the 10R140. I've driven these trucks and they are rocket ships, especially if you get one with these types of tires. They do launch a lot better, but once you get over 1,000 miles, I feel like you get more of that power unlocked. But let's go ahead and take a look at the interior so you guys can check out what they've done. By the way, this does have the dual batteries. I like this. I'm a huge fan of lighter interiors, and this tan looks really good. Now, I'm not a huge fan of two-tone seats, but I could live with this. You have a 10-way driver's seat, and you cannot tilt the headrest unless you get the ultimate package on the Lariat trim. Perforated leather. You have a power steering column, and these mirrors go out for tow mode, and you can power fold them. You have automatic up and down front windows, and you have to hold it basically for the rears. You have 3 settings for seat memories, grab handles right there, and look how flat this panel is here. It's easy to get in and out of this truck. Here's some of the lighting controls. You can drop the tailgate from inside the truck, power pedals, electronic parking brake. And when you step in, I feel like this is probably one of the easiest trucks to get into. This one does have the 6-passenger setup. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys this. I had no idea you can get that twin panel sunroof with the 6-passenger too in the Lariat. Pretty interesting, I didn't know that. I learn something new every day. Here's some of the controls. You have dual climate control, heated steering wheel, heated seats, ventilated seats, 2 USBs right there, type C up the top, type A right there, 12 volt, 120 volt plug right there, another 12 volt plug there, 12-inch display, and you have a digital gauge cluster. Let's go ahead and start it up. So this screen is pretty customizable, and I'm just going to show you one of the things I love about this. The gauges that they give you is pretty extraordinary, especially if you plan on towing. It's called general measurements. They give you engine coolant temp, transmission temp, engine oil temperature, battery voltage. Doesn't stop there. Turbo boost, engine brake, exhaust filter, DEF level. This Super Duty does have 5 different drive modes. That rear locker button's right here, and this is for your four-wheel drive system. Trailer brakes right there. Now I do have it in tow haul mode. Notice how you can set up this screen. You see your RPMs. I also added the temperature for your coolant and your transmission. So while you're towing, you can pretty much have up your turbo boost and all the other gauges that I showed you guys earlier. Now if you were to switch it over to another drive mode, this truck does have eco, and I just showed you guys tow haul, normal, slippery, and then off-road. So I do like that they give you this eco mode too, especially if you're driving on the highway. That should probably limit the throttle for the pedal for your gas. Exhaust brake, you have dual stage, and as I mentioned earlier, 360 camera. There's a lot of different things on this truck here, and you have split screen too, so you can see multiple things on this setup. In the center seat, I'd never really sit here. Let's sit right here. Okay, so someone my size would want to sit here, so you definitely want to get these outer seats or just drive, right? A little bit of storage at the top, and then also you have a little bit of storage for the glove box here. Now notice how the truck did go into a high idle. Here are some of your auxiliary gauges. You have a spot up here for your sunshades, home links right there. Let's go ahead and check out the rear. Correct me if I'm wrong. I recall seeing a lighter color roof if you get the black interior. So when you get this Baja, they give you a black roof. I like that they do that. Now down below here, 12 volt plug, 2 USBs, 60/40 bench, and this is collapsible, by the way. And there is some storage for the seat backs, cup holders right there, and decent storage for the door. Now, something that I mentioned in the past, I haven't mentioned in a while, this floor does sit a little bit higher out back, so your feet do sit up a little bit higher, so that might affect comfort for taller people. But let's go ahead and check out the payload on this build. But before we do that, I almost forgot to show these cup holders yet again. I was trying to think of where they were. So yeah, there's cup holders built in here, and I always forget to show those grab handles too out back. So as far as the numbers on the door go, the gross axle weight rating up front is going to be 5,200 pounds. The rear is going to be 7,230 pounds. It does beat Ram's in the 1-ton segment, but GM's is a little bit higher. Gross vehicle weight rating is 12,000 pounds, and that's for the standard bed. These wheels on the truck are 20/8, and then here's the payload. That's pretty big payload for the options. 3,932 pounds. I will show you guys some of the towing capacities for the truck too, but for the most part, I think that this is one of the best trucks in the segment because of the updates that they've done. That screen I showed you guys for the gauge cluster, love the updates they've done with that, and that's probably why I think Ford is always continuing to be one of the best HD or Super Duty pickups in the market.